Neymar walked into Brazil's oldest circus last Friday night and bought out every single seat. Not for a sponsorship deal. Not for a public appearance. For his two daughters, Mavi and Mel, to watch acrobats without a single stranger watching them back. The Circus Stankovic has been touring Brazil since 1850. It's the kind of place where families save up for months to afford front-row tickets. Neymar closed the whole thing down for a private session in Santos, his hometown, the city where he became a legend before he turned 20. He sat in a numbered plastic chair next to Bruna Biancardi, his partner, holding their 10-month-old daughter while their 2-year-old watched trapeze artists swing overhead. Close friends filled the other seats. The rest of the tent stayed empty. This is what happens when you're 34 years old, one of the most expensive footballers in history, and you're running out of time to do the things that matter. Because while Neymar was watching clowns and fire breathers in Santos, the 2026 World Cup was 8 weeks away, and he wasn't going to be there. Brazil's head coach, Carlo Ancelotti, had made that clear a month earlier. Neymar's name was left off the squad list for the final pre-World Cup friendlies. Then it was left off again. Ancelotti said the squad was quite defined. When pressed, he said Neymar wasn't at 100%. The official World Cup sticker album came out 2 weeks ago. Neymar wasn't in it. For a player who spent 2 years rehabbing a catastrophic knee injury, who left Saudi Arabia's Al Hilal, returned to Santos in January 2025, had another knee surgery in December, and clawed his way back onto the pitch in February, that exclusion wasn't a bureaucratic oversight. It was a verdict. So he rented a circus instead. Not the metaphorical kind he's been living in for years, with tabloid scandals and transfer sagas and injuries that derailed what should have been a World Cup legacy. An actual circus, with a ringmaster and everything, set up in a lot next to the Portuguesa Santista Club. The same streets where he used to dribble past defenders as a teenager, before Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain and the $263 million transfer that made him the most expensive player on earth. Before the pressure to deliver a World Cup turned every tournament into a referendum on whether he was good enough to carry Brazil the way Pelé did. He's back in Santos now, playing for the club that made him, managing his minutes carefully because his body can't handle what it used to. His contract runs through the end of 2026. He extended it himself, hoping it would be enough to convince Ancelotti. It wasn't. Lionel Messi, his former Barcelona teammate, reportedly called for Neymar's inclusion just hours before the circus visit. That didn't change anything either. What do you do when the thing you've chased your entire life finally, definitively slips out of reach? When the dream you've built everything around, the last World Cup, the last chance to win the one trophy that would cement your legacy, gets taken off the table while you're still fighting to prove you're ready? You take your daughters to see acrobats. You sit in a tent that smells like popcorn and sawdust. You make sure nobody else is watching, because for once, this moment isn't about what the world thinks of you. Neymar didn't post about it. Bruna shared a few photos. The circus went back to selling tickets to the public the next day. And somewhere in Europe, the final World Cup roster was being finalized without him.